organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Pomp and circumstance, Carver Hawkeye Arena prepares for graduation weekend.
Plus, sizzling transit, a speedy innovation to travel surges forward.
What a weekend for pictures coming up. Find out if Mother Nature will cooperate.
We'll get you up to speed on what's ahead for the Iowa football team. Plus, 2 senior athletes are on to grad school with scholarships in hand.
Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Cole Johnson.
And I'm Maria Palladino. The attorney for the man convicted of committing the Coral Ridge Mall shooting wants a new trial. 2 weeks after a jury said Alexander Kozak is guilty of first-degree murder, Alfredo Parrish says the prosecution didn't play fair. Parrish cited multiple examples, including mistakenly treating a witness as an expert. The court will consider the motion at Kozak's June 6th sentencing hearing.
Tomorrow marks the start of graduation weekend. Families will flock to town to watch their sons and daughters stroll across the Carver Hawkeye Arena stage. Daily Iowan TV reporter Ryan Scott looks behind the scenes at the sporting venue turned celebratory stage.
Tomorrow you can expect to see Carver Hawkeye Arena crowded with families and friends as graduating seniors walk across the stage and receive their diplomas. Today, however, you can expect to see workers assembling that stage.
Nice to have it in a venue as big as this because obviously the graduate can invite as many family members as they want to.
Mike Patterson has helped organize graduation ceremonies at Carver for the last 8 years. He works on the facility side, making sure the venue is prepped and ready for the many graduation ceremonies taking place over the next few days.
Our sound and stage crew will come in and set the stage up here in one day, and then facilities management staff will put the finishing touches on setting the chairs and preparing the stage.
It takes workers about 2 days to get this place ready for graduation, but of course we can't forget the people who organize graduation. Inside the office of the registrar in Jessup Hall, staff members like Sarah Sullivan are hard at work handling the logistics.
I arrange for the ambulance service to be there. I arrange for the custodial staff to be there. The sound and stage is mine. The setup for ordering the food for the volunteers is me.
Her team is also in charge of spreading the word about grad ceremonies.
I do all the information on the website. I manage a lot of the getting the numbers out to like the different areas on campus. I'll do all the locations on the website.
Commencement ceremonies will be taking place throughout this upcoming Friday and Saturday. You can find the times and days of these ceremonies on the University of Iowa website made available by the Office of the Registrar. The website is registrar.uiowa.edu/commencement. Reporting from outside Jessup Hall, Ryan Scott, Daily Iowan TV.
A UISG senator is shouldering the responsibility to raise awareness about mental health issues on campus. Ashad Monteclard heads the True at You campaign, a video project planning to launch in September. Monteclard has interviewed 22 UI students about their personal mental health issues. She has more participants ready to contribute, but needs additional funding to make it happen. The UI Counseling Service will unveil 1 or 2 of these videos each week next fall.
Now, even though this week marks the end of the school year, Iowa City remains a vibrant place to be through the summer. The community is readying for a sparkling season. Daily Iowa TV's Sydney Zatt explores the excitement in store.
Students pack up and get ready to leave. Iowa City is preparing to keep the excitement alive. Summer of the Arts is an umbrella organization that holds numerous events and festivals throughout Iowa City over the summer.
The longest running festival is the Iowa Arts Festival, and it started in 1983. And it was a way to try to bring the Iowa City community, honestly, back downtown after the students left. So it was kind of the unofficial kickoff to summer.
One crowd favoring Iowa City over the summer is the annual Jazz Festival. Not only does the festival bring in artists from around the country, but it helps to give local artists a chance to show off their talents.
We're bringing in jazz aficionados from not only the area, but from the entire Midwest region. It's come to be a widely renowned jazz festival in the United States.
For those who might want to relax on a Friday night, there's also a weekly concert series out on the Piedmont. You can also check out a variety of movies that will be projected on the wall of McBride Hall.
Every event is unique in its own way, but they also all provide opportunities for people from all backgrounds and of all ages.
If students are here in the summertime, they should definitely check it out because it's a lot of fun.
To find out more about all the fun events happening in Iowa City over the summer, check out summerthearts.org. Reporting from Iowa City, Sydney Zatz, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Maria, the weather has been great today. I hope it can stick up for you guys all at graduation.
I hope so too. I hope it's not too windy, but let's toss it over to Zhao Li in the weather studio for more on that. Zhao?
Unfortunately, guys, we'll have more cloudy skies finishing up the finals week. Taking a look at tomorrow's weather, it's going to be 46 degrees in the morning, and moving into the afternoon, the temperature will rise slowly into 54 degrees with 50% chance of rain. So plan accordingly if you're moving tomorrow. And later in the night, the temps will drop back down to 53 degrees. Taking a look at our 6 days extended forecast. Saturday and Sunday will both be cloudy with high of low 60s. Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday will also be cloudy and may have slight chance of rain, with temperatures stay in the mid-50s. That's all I have for you here at the weather studio. Back to you guys at the desk.
The University of Iowa is not the only state school feeling crunched by the number of incoming students next fall. To fix their overflow, Iowa State is planning to house students in their on-campus hotel. Daily Iowan TV reporter Becca Skadden explores how the UI is planning to make room and whether or not the Iowa House Hotel is part of the equation.
Well, we've anticipated having more students than we do beds.
Crunch for space, the housing department has even given students who signed a housing contract the ability to get out of their contracts with no penalty. In an email sent out last month, the university encouraged returning students to look into other housing options.
Our goal is to be able to provide as much space for our first-year students as possible. And if they want to move off campus, it's going to provide us more space for our first-year students.
But despite the tight numbers, the university believes that they still have options.
We'll always have expanded housing, and we're planning on using as much expanded housing as we need in order to meet our students' needs, particularly for our first-year students.
As the lack of housing for next year continues to be a concern, the university has also begun looking into other alternatives.
For probably 5 or 6 years now that we've had at least apartments off campus in order to provide space for returning students.
While some of these housing alternatives have been used in the past, this year other options have also been discussed.
Yeah, we actually looked at the Iowa House early last year, and we determined at that point in time there were too many obstacles in order to do that.
The Iowa House Hotel declined to comment on the state of the negotiations. However, the university insists that utilizing the hotel is not completely out of the question.
Possibility, but we don't know whether or not it's going to be available or not.
Reporting from University Housing, Becca Skadden, Daily Iowan TV.
While the Olympic torch passes from nation to nation en route to this summer's Olympic Games, a Canadian professor is urging someone to extinguish the flame. Amir Adoran is a law and medicine professor at the University of Ottawa. He says the flourishing Zika virus in Brazil, paired with fan migrations from all over the world, is a legitimate threat to be a global catastrophe. Writing in the Harvard Health Review, Adoran wants the games postponed or moved. The International Olympic Committee released a statement Thursday that the Rio de Janeiro Summer Games will remain as scheduled. The opening ceremony is August 5th.
An Omaha native is hoping to pop one of the University of Nebraska's soaring traditions. Randall Krause filed a lawsuit against the Cornhuskers this week. When the school lifts thousands of balloons after a game's first touchdown at Memorial Stadium, it violates the law against open dumping of solid waste. The latex balloons keep their elasticity in the air for nearly 10 weeks. Plus, ribbons tying them together are not biodegradable. Krause included a list of 60 species allegedly in danger each fall Saturday. He wants the practice banned and the school prohibited from promoting it. Well, Cole, I hope they get that figured out before football season starts.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the Nebraska and Iowa matchup. But for more on that, let's toss it over to the sports studio. Ladies, what's going on?
Thanks, Cole and Maria. Obviously a huge ordeal going on at Nebraska, but that Iowa-Nebraska game is actually here this season, so no balloons being released here.
Now Iowa football has not had to worry about balloon releases, but they still have a lot to figure out before the start of the 2016 season.
That's right, and earlier this week we looked back at Iowa football's historic season with Kirk Ferentz. Today, though, we continue with Coach Ferentz, but this time to look at what the future has to hold for the team.
With Desmond King returning for his senior season and linebacker Josie Jewell being back as well, the defense is looking stable. As for the offense, CJ Beathard returns with legs that move this season. Check it out.
What was your perspective on spring practice as a whole, and then that last spring scrimmage that you guys had inside Kinnick?
You know, it's always interesting. The team never looks good in the spring, and at least my association, and that goes back to 1980, my first spring practice as at the University of Pittsburgh. And spring ball is really not about putting the team together, you know, pulling it all the way together and having the cohesiveness. It's really about developing and making progress, and that other stuff kind of comes down the line a little bit. So, you know, the big thing is what I tried to do at the end of spring is look at a lot of our players individually.
Is there anyone who specifically stands out to you that really made that push in the spring?
Oh, you know, you think about guys like Keegan Render, who wouldn't have been a starter, but we had an injury, so he played at our right guard position and practiced against Jalil Johnson every day. It's a tough order, but that really accelerated his progress. Matt Nelson, Parker Hesse started a lot last year because of Drew Opp being out, but he certainly improved. Matt Nelson's going to take Nate Meyer's spot. Anthony Nelson, Sam Brinks behind him. Those guys really showed growth. So, you know, the guys that are replacing seniors, they get the most opportunity to evidence that they're growing and improving. But again, that second wave of guys too is really important for us.
And obviously we didn't see CJ Beathard in that spring game. Took him out, didn't have him practice. He looked a little sad on the sideline. Don't blame him. But what haven't we seen from him behind closed doors and how he's improved? Because he was partially injured for a little bit of the season last year, but kept on going. What have you seen from him this spring season? You
know, he could throw a ball last year, but he really couldn't move very well after the second game, or third game. So, you know, it's a real credit to him the way he played. He was never fully healthy once we got going, certainly in Big Ten play. So we're anxious to see him healthy. Ironically, he hurt his shoulder a little bit in spring ball that last week. The good news is if we were playing this week, he'd be fine. He can throw it. The better news is the last couple of weeks we've been doing some speed work after spring practice, and he's winning races in his group. So his legs are healthy again. That's good news. So I'm really hopeful that he'll have a year where he can be fully healthy, and he's a really good football player, a tremendous young guy, a great leader. So for him to be fully healthy and be able to play the way he wants as a senior would be a real, I think that's what he deserves, and hopefully that's what we get to see.
Well, this is our last show for the 2015-2016 school year. We will still keep you updated as Iowa football progresses through summer workouts and media days.
Now, we still have some time until football season, but one Iowa team's next game is a little sooner, and their season is hanging on by a series.
Iowa baseball takes on Michigan State this weekend for their last home series and what could be their last games of the season. The Hawkeyes have to take the series to advance to postseason play at the Big Ten tournament, and one senior has helped the team get there before.
Iowa's starting shortstop Nick Rossetti has made the final cut for the Brooks Wallace Award watch list. It was announced Thursday by the College Baseball Hall of Fame. The honor is given to the top shortstop in collegiate baseball.
And Rossetti was not the only Iowa athlete receiving recognition today.
2 Hawkeye senior athletes were chosen as the University of Iowa's recipients of the annual Big Ten Conference Postgraduate Scholarship earlier this Thursday morning. Katie Brown, member of the rowing team, was Iowa's coxswain for the first varsity 8 crew and received Iowa's Big Ten Medal of Honor earlier this month.
And swimmer Charles Holliday led the Hawkeyes in the 50-yard freestyle as a senior. He is a semifinalist for the Arthur Ashe Jr. Sports Scholar Award and has conducted microbiology research funded by NASA. This scholarship is awarded to 28 Big Ten student athletes who are continuing their education at a graduate degree program.
That is all the time we have for in sports for this final show of the semester.
For my last time at Daily Iowan TV, back to you guys at the desk.
An LA startup is closer to making Elon Musk's pipe dream come to life. Hyperloop One pushed forward this week at the research facility in Nevada.
The 5-second test was the first tangible evidence for Musk's dream. His team is working to shoot passengers through steel tubes at 700 miles per hour.
The coiled track system will use magnets to push the sled forward. The company says it is on track for passenger use in 2021. Then people will be able to travel from Los Angeles to San Francisco in roughly 35 minutes. And that's all for us on Daily Iowan TV.
This is our final newscast of the semester. Stay current with our website, dailyiowan.com, and be sure to be on the lookout for summer coverage coming soon. For the last time on Daily Iowan TV, I'm Maria Palladino.
And I'm Cole Johnson. Have a great summer, Iowa City.